Scalene? Isosceles? Equilateral? What do these words mean? Before we can really tackle this question, we should really figure that out. A scalene triangle is one where all of the sides are different. No two sides have the same length. An isosceles triangle has two sides that are the same length. Like, I don't know, maybe this one. These two sides are long and they're the same length, but this one is different, so it's isosceles. And an equilateral triangle has all sides equal. All three sides are the same length. So, the question here is about a triangle ABC. A, B, and C are the vertices of this triangle. They're the 3 points of the triangle. Point A is at 3, 4, and so on. Given these here, we need to figure out what kind of triangle it is without even drawing it. But we can do that. We need to know the lengths of the sides so we can figure out how many sides are equal. So let's calculate the lengths of each side. One side goes from A to B. A and B are points, so we can figure out the distance between these points. That's how long this side of the triangle is. So the side that connects point A to point B of the triangle, well, we can use the distance formula. If you haven't seen the distance formula or you're not super confident in it, go back to my distance formula video because I'm going to assume that you know that for this video. The first part here is x2, which is 3, take x1, which is 3. And the second part is y2, which is -2, take y1, which is 4. And then you can step through and solve it. I won't dwell too long on this because I covered it in the, which video? The distance formula video, that one. We can do the same, not just for the side connecting point A to point B, but the side connecting point A to point C. So we can do the same thing. 0, take 3, 1, take 4, and so on. And we can get an approximate, approximately equal sign to round it off to 2 decimal places so we can get an idea about which might be the longest side. And which one's left? We've got A to B, we've got A to C. The next one is from B to C, that distance. So from B to C, 0, take 3, 1, take -2, and we can figure that out. Notice that 1 take -2 is 1 plus 2, which is 3. Okay, so that's how we can figure out the 3 lengths of the triangle, because a triangle has 3 sides, right? Now, how many of these sides are equal? I've got one side that's 6 and 2 sides that are 4.24. So exactly 2 sides are equal. This is an isosceles triangle. In your answer, what you can do and should do is you can refer to triangle ABC. You can put a triangle before it. So this reads as 2 sides are equal, so triangle ABC is isosceles. Brilliant. It's a lot of work, but doable. It also lets us answer another question without even drawing the triangle. We can find out if ABC is a right-angled triangle. How? Good question. Do you remember that a right-angled triangle, I'll draw one right here. Boop, boop, boop. It's on an angle, but that's okay. Boop. Ignore that bit, that's an accident. If we have a right-angled triangle and it's got sides that are A, B, and a hypotenuse C, if it is a right-angled triangle, then C squared is the same as A squared plus B squared. That comes from Pythagoras. If you're not comfortable with that, go back to my Pythagoras videos. Anyway, so we can check A squared plus B squared and check if that is the same as C squared. C here is the longest side. The hypotenuse must be the longest side. So if it is a right-angled triangle, then let's look at the longest side being this one, and the 2 shorter sides, I like to call them legs, A and B would be this one and this one. So hopefully, maybe, if this squared plus this squared is the same as C squared, then it is a right-angled triangle. Otherwise, it's not. Let's see how that plays out. The shorter sides are AC and BC. The longest side is AB. So let's figure out, using the converse of Pythagoras' theorem, and it's important to say that you're using Pythagoras, even if you just say Pythag. So using the converse of Pythagoras' theorem, that means the opposite of Pythagoras' theorem, let's check that AC squared plus BC squared is the same as the other one squared. Well, AC is square root of 18, so I'll replace that with square root of 18. The squared is still there, I need to copy that down, plus BC is also square root of 18, bit of a coincidence I suppose, and the squared, I copied that down as well. Now you could put this into your calculator and figure it out, but you don't have to, you don't need to. If I take the square root and then square it, I get my original number back. Imagine for something that's similar, but different, but similar, but different, but it is similar. If I have a number and I halve it and then I double it, I just get my original number back. And it's the same with squaring. If I take the square root and then square it, I get my original number back. So square root of 18 is 4 point something, 4.24, there you go. If you square that, you just get 18 back. It's almost like the square root and the square cancel each other out because they're opposites. On the next line, this is really easy to figure out. 18 plus 18 is 36. So that's our a squared plus b squared in this diagram here. What about the c squared? What about the hypotenuse? Well, if this is a right-angled triangle, then the hypotenuse would be 6. It would be AB. So let's check AB squared. AB squared, well, AB is 6, and the squared I'll copy down, which equals 6 squared, 36. Whoa, so we can answer the question. Is ABC a right-angled triangle? Well, the legs squared and then added together is 36, which is the same as the longest side squared. This is only true for a very special kind of triangle. It's only true for a right-angled triangle. So what kind of triangle are we looking at? It must be a right-angled triangle. We can even say which angle is the right angle. Just to show you what I mean, I'm gonna, maybe I'll draw a normal looking right-angled triangle. Let's say I've got points here that are A, which were my short legs? My short legs were from A to C and B to C. They have to be my legs, the ones that are connected to the right angle. The hypotenuse, the one that does not touch the right angle, is AB. Do you notice the hypotenuse is AB? So the right angle does not touch the hypotenuse at all. It never will. That's the whole point, right? The hypotenuse doesn't touch the right angle. It's on the other side. So the right angle is the one that's not part of the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse includes point A and includes point B. What point is not included in the hypotenuse here? It's point C. And that's why, even without drawing the triangle or graphing any of these points or anything, we can find out that it's right angled, that the right angle is at C, and that it's an isosceles triangle. Whoa, that was heavy. This is a kind of tedious question because you figure out so many different distances. Just to give you a visual for what this looks like, this is the triangle. This is C, which is 0, 1. A is at 3, 4 up here. B is at 3, minus 2. So you can see that it really is a right-angled triangle lying on its side. And it really is isosceles. That length there is exactly the same as that one. Cool. And you can do all that, amazingly, without graphing it. So I hope this is helpful for you, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.